Hey everybody, Fish Lotta here with Fishy Review. Do you need a filter for your aquarium up to 30 gallons? Well, this filter here would be good for that. Let's take a look at what's inside the box, and you can see how it works and decide if you want to get one. So here we have the Whisper filter. There's instructions, don't need those, right? Get this out of the box. Put the box off to the side. So inside the box, we have parts that you don't want to miss. I've had people ask me, where's the strainer for this thing? Well, it hides. So take the lid off here. Inside the lid, we have our stuff. We have our filter pad. We'll look at that in a minute. We have one of the intake tubes. There is the little strainer. Here's what it looks like. It's definitely be in the box. So if any of the parts are missing, take it back. There should be never parts missing. These are the parts that it comes with. We have this blue thing here, which is a place for the good bacteria to grow. So this is a piece that you would want to clean gently, if at all. Rinse it off if it's really gunked up. Otherwise, just leave it alone. Let the stuff grow on here. And then we have the intake assembly here. I'll pop this out. It just is sitting in here. It's press fit. Okay, it comes out like that. This is one piece. There's a little dial here, which will control the flow by shutting it off on the inside. If it's on the red, that's less flow, and black is more flow. You can see it on the top. I'll show you in a bit. This filter has the pump inside the aquarium, so it's self-priming. So if your power goes out, anything like that, this filter is going to restart. The pump is down in the water. It has, you see there's a gap here. There's supposed to be a gap here. People say, was mine supposed to have a gap? Yes, because there is some rubber in here that's isolating this from the body and from your aquarium, because this is going to rest on the aquarium. And you don't want that creating some vibrations, adding some noise. You want your aquarium to be quiet in most cases, right? So to clean this filter, here's what you need to know. First, this bottom part, it says pry to open, it just pops off, right? If it's on there and you're having trouble getting it off, you could just make sure this is on there, and that'll give you just even a little bit more grip on it, okay? So if you're cleaning this filter, I know we're showing you how to set it up too, but just make sure you keep this all clean inside here. Keep these tubes clean. Inside the motor, we have this impeller, okay? Impeller has what I call the magical disappearing cap. This little black thing right here. This, you need to pop it off if you want to take the impeller out, but don't lose it. You're not going to be able to replace it. Is it missing in my other filter? Yeah. And you know what? It's fine. I don't know that it hurts it. Maybe this is not really required, but I think it's supposed to be there, so let's not lose it. Take the impeller out. Now, if you're having any trouble getting the impeller out, what I would do is, these are pretty easy because they stick up enough, but any impeller that's hard to get out, just take your brush, the back of the brush, the little ring on the back of the brush, and lift the blades out like that. This impeller, gotta clean it, guys. You can't have these full of gunk if they're all slimy. They don't work so good. Clean these blades off. Take your brush, get in here and brush those gently, right? Don't hurt anything. Set that aside. The little hole where the impeller was, too. Get you a little brush. I'll put a link in the description below for these brushes. There's a whole bunch of different sizes of brushes. Super cheap on Amazon. Check it out. But take that, brush down in there, brush in this little slot here is to help knock the stuff out of the motor. But you want that clean too. So get all that clean. There's a little tube here where the tube was, where it was press fit in. This is rubber. So get that clean. Now, what about this? The rest of the motor. Can you take it off? Yes, you can. I originally wasn't sure you could. It will slide off to the back like that. So there's this rubber piece here. Do you really ever have to take this part loose? Maybe not. But maybe a fish is in here. Who knows? A snail, you want to rescue it. But it does come off if you need it to. I don't think there's much need to do so. If you do take it off, be sure to get it right back on these two little guys right here. And do it carefully so you don't break them off. Slide that on there like that. Be very careful and get it all the way back up to the front. This pump has a minimum water level line, so make sure that the water's never below this line, because this is in the tank. The pump will still burn up if there's water's real low. You don't want water this low anyway. The thing would be super noisy. I know a lot of people keep their tanks like this far down from the top. I don't get it. Keep them full, everybody. Unless you've got something in there, there's a good reason. Keep the tank full to at least to the trim so you don't see that gap anymore. And all your pumps will work better. They'll start better. They'll prime better. This one being self-priming, not too much of a problem as long as the water's above that level. There's the cord here too. So watch out for this cord. You want to make sure it's here and not some weird place. It's supposed to be here so that the tank isn't pinching it. Okay, so there's a place here for it. The filter is going to rest here on the tank like that. So it's that easy. So then once we got that back together, let's say we were reassembling it, put this back in here like this and make sure it fits into that right there real good. Nice big rubber piece. The bigger Whisper filters, this part's different. And actually I've had one not work out, but the way this is, I don't think this would ever go bad, but maybe after 10 or 20 years, who knows, right? Put this, put the impeller back in there. Not gonna work without that. Put that in there. Put the magical disappearing cap on there. Drop the magical disappearing cap. See, it's tiny. Just hard to deal with. Be very careful with that. Put that back on there. Now put this in here where the tube lines up with the impeller like that. Okay, it just snaps on. Put this in here. If you're in a shallower tank, you could leave that off. These are interchangeable. You could put that on a shallow tank like that. Generally, you're going to want to put it here like this. This also extends and it pops out when you pull it too hard. But you can extend this like this. So if you've got a nice deep tank, this will go all the way down. I wouldn't go to the last position because it's a little wobbly, but you had to, you could. I'd go at least one extra notch higher. So we'll take this off so it's not in the way. This thing here goes in like that. So it says front on it, and there's arrows pointing towards the front. We also have the filter filter media here. This is your classic Whisper filter bag. These have been around as long as I know, and I've been dealing with aquariums since the 90s. But these inside, we can pop this little clip off, drop it, flap these little flaps open, and inside we have this skeleton kind of thing, right? And it's got this stay clean tab in here so that when you buy a new box of filters, you get a new one of these with it. And I guess whenever you've run through all these that are in the box, then, you know, you get a new box, you got a new one of these, and you can swap it out. And that little stay clean tab that's in there, you can see it's just a tablet. I don't know that they sell these separately. I have yet to understand exactly what it does, but whatever, it's in there. So put that back in there, snap it shut. You can always check that, see how it's doing. Now, I took this out while the carbon's in here. If you buy one of these new, it's going to come with little bags of carbon that you pour in, ideally after you put this in here, because now it's kind of like, I got to like mash it back in there, but it's not so hard. Get it like that, snap the clip on, doesn't matter. There's no front or back to these. You can rinse these off for several times too. I mean, I don't think you got to sit there and swap it all the time. So you just put this in here. There's a slot for it. If you can see the little rails here, there's a slot. Slide it down in that slot. You want to rinse this carbon out on this thing before you use it the first time. So I'll be doing that too. It's a little stiff to get down in there. You just get it in there. That's good. Just slides in. That's all there is to it. There's not a lot of room here on this filter, but if you had a small media bag, you could put some other media back here. It's on the wrong side, right? So there's really no room in the front for media where it should be. So that's probably not ideal if you're trying to add to it. There's not a lot of room on this filter for this, but it's an inexpensive, basic filter. It's a really good filter though. I've got a couple of these. I've been very happy with them. You do have this here to hold your good bacteria. So then I guess that kind of substitutes for the media. Just keep that in there. It also helps silence the flow as it comes out. If you could see with the lid on it, where this little dial sticks out, okay? So if you have no red here, this is on maximum flow. There's a plus sign here. I said this wrong in my other video. I meant it the one way, but I said it backwards. So you put this, there's no red, that's maximum flow. If you've got red, that's slowest flow. Kind of makes sense, right? So that's all there is to it. We'll go put this on an aquarium after I rinse out that carbon, and you can see what it does on there. I have had good luck with these so far. With my 20, one thing that happened was this piece here actually broke. So I bought another 20 because I like them a lot. Other than that, I haven't had any trouble with it, and I'm sure I was probably doing something underwater, not watching what I was doing. So I'll take the blame for that one. So before I put this on the tank, if you've liked this video so far, be sure to hit that like button. It'll help other people find this video. And if you like this video and you want to find more like it in the future, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, hey, thanks so much. So now on to the tank. Got this filter ready to go here. I've got the power strip rigged up so I can just push a button and we can watch first water. It's like first light for a telescope, but it's first water for the filter. So here we go. Click. And there it goes. Self-priming pump. Absolutely my favorite feature here. And boom, there it goes. Did not have a drop of water in this thing. You can see there's good flow on it. You can see what happens when I adjust the flow to slower, how it drops down. And I adjust it to full blast, and it goes to full blast. I've got this on this tank here. This is a Pleco holding tank. It's only a 20 long. So I had to take the extra little piece off the intake there to make sure it would fit and not touch the gravel. And there's a bunch of plecos in here, just, you know, bigger than babies, so they're not going to get sucked in. And the idea here is that this is just for them to grow up a bit before they go on to new homes. So this tank gets a lot of poop in it because these plecos make a lot of poop. There's a few shrimps in here. Little baby shrimps might get caught in this thing if I don't put a sponge on it, but I'm not really raising shrimp in here either. So, you know, well, I'll decide what to do with that. So just to wrap up here after that quick setup video and a little bit of seeing how it gets started, I like these filters. I put them higher in my list of hang-on back filters because they do have the internal pump in the aquarium, so they don't have to be primed. They're going to restart when the power goes out. They're really reliable that way. I think that's a really important feature these days with filters. And it's inexpensive. I mean, the price is going to vary. I don't know what the price will be when you watch this video. The filter cartridges are also inexpensive and they are durable. You can rinse them out multiple times before they fall apart. So I don't think you're going to go wrong with this very easily. Generally a quiet filter. I don't hear too many complaints about noise. I don't think it's noisy at all. Of course, something could be wrong. You could be missing the little cap in there. Maybe that makes it noisier, etc. This filter should be very quiet for you as long as your tank's full. If your tank's not full, your filter's going to be noisy anyway. What can I tell you? But seriously, check this filter out. If you're interested, check out the link in the description below, and you can get yourself one and try it out for yourself. Meanwhile, everybody, remember, keep it fishy and have fun. Thanks.